ready to venture off into our second segment. Very interesting one here. Former Harlem Globetrotter who is visiting Belize. Of course, motivational speaking is what we'll be venturing off into. In with us is this guy right here. That's Melvin Adams. Now, he's a former Harlem Globetrotter, and he's a motivational speaker. John Bowman is a pastor at Lakewood Church, and of course, Kerm Thimbrel, who is a coordinator of basketball Extravaganza. Guys, good morning and
welcome.
I'm opening my eyes.
Yeah,
you're opening your eyes, right?
That's what you do. Okay, so let's get started. There's a lot of energy in the studio. We absolutely love it. And, let's just jump in, Melvin, and find out a bit about your own background. Harlem Globetrotter to now motivational speaker. Tell us about you.
Well, I grew up in Houston. It's the only place you can find 10 brothers and a white dude who can't play football, the Texans. I grew up with a father that was really abusive. He was probably related to Osama bin Laden. He's really hard to find. My mom never told me she loved me, so, get an 89, she'd cuss me out, should have got a 90, got a 90, should have got a 91, never good enough. Grew up in poverty, we were so broke, if you tried to rob us, you'd be practicing. So I'm growing up as a kid, my dad was 6'6", my brothers are 6'8", 6'7", 6'2", my mother was 5'3", my aunts were Ewoks on Star Wars, but I had a dream. And had a lot of obstacles, going to school every day, really thinking about suicide, really because of what I saw at home. But till there were two people who came to work, kind of like you two, came to work every day on purpose with a purpose, help you open your eyes. And so I'm going to school every day. My high school counselor principal used to tell me I was awesome. And I had never heard those words from where I grew up. Most black kids don't walk around going, "You're awesome." I didn't know what that meant, but I liked it. She said I was amazing. I said, "I'm not Spider-Man." She gave me my first birthday party, and I went from making all F's to being on the honor roll to being the first one to graduate from college. My high school coach drove me to one of the richest areas, and the houses were like beautiful, like your hair. And I'm looking, he goes, you can live in a house like that. And so that inspired me that it doesn't matter where you come from, what matters where you're going. And so even as I drive through 65 checkpoints on the way coming here, I'm watching kids. You watch kids.
Yeah, but they're nicer to you at our checkpoints.
They are. They just go. They just go. I'm like, hey, all right, let's go. And so I'm driving, and I see a little girl there. I think they're selling watermelons, and but on her face, you could just see like that's not really where she wants to be. And so sometimes you find in life, you don't want to make A's because everybody will think you're like Jimmy Neutron, and you don't want to make F's because then everybody will say, dumb. So we learn how to make C's in life, and we learn how to just float through, and then we marry people we don't love, and we find ourselves just kind of floating through life, not really living out our purpose, and there's no joy, no excitement. So, being here, I think one of my goals is to inspire and motivate, let people know that they have value, that they're loved. Belize is a beautiful country. I mean, the people here are amazing. Kim Kardashian and Usher. And so why wouldn't you want to open your eyes? And so that's how it kind of all started. And basketball was kind of what gets me into places that I probably never would have got if I would have just been, Melvin Adams.
Yeah.
And so I used
Melvin, can we ask you to stand up? Because you pointed out that you
I didn't have my high heels.
Have the height for basketball. 5'8", and they said NBA player, and I'm like, wait, there's no tall person coming in.
You gotta believe. You gotta believe. You can do it.
And I was gonna say that because everybody always automatically assumes it's a criteria. You make it to the NBA, you're not as tall as the other players. That in itself is a feat. And you obviously have not made that. I mean, you're not short. You're just not what people expect from NBA players. So how do you use these particular examples where you break the mold of what is expected as a story to pass on to other people and as your own catalyst?
Well, I think that a lot of people, I know when I played, because like I said, my brothers are all 6'8", my mom. So for me, when I played, I always figured that there's a little kid out there who's looking, thinking maybe I'm too little. And it's not even just height. It could be, I don't have a lot of likes on Instagram. I don't have a lot of friends. It carries over into every area of life that their identity is not based on. Basketball is what I did, it's not who I am. Because a lot of times we find our identity in what we do, whether we have more likes, more people watch the show. You two are amazing anyway. So So yeah, so I think that kind of motivates people.
Yeah.
If you have a dream in your heart, whatever you want to be, it doesn't matter if you're from New York, LA, you can make the dream become reality. If you work hard and get around good people who believe in you, you can change the world, man.
But Mel,
Let me just jump in. There's one thing he said that just stood out to me. That's why, and I 100% subscribe to it. It's something I tell myself all the time. I am not my job. I work on television, but that's not who I am.
Go on, girl.
Why is that? Why was that important for you? I know why it is for me, because there's an assumption of people who are on television, but I know who I am when I'm at home and when I'm with the people I love and I'm comfortable with.
Yeah. For me, but a lot of times I think everything stems from your home life. Because I was a mama's boy, so because I never heard, I'm proud of you, I love you, oh, that was great. So I found myself, if I can score more points, if I can make more money, if I can do more, if I can get more likes, then people will like me. And that's our drive in life. And a lot of times, even as people, we look in the mirror, and if we don't have what you have, or if I'm not my skin isn't smooth. This brother's skin is smooth. I don't know if you, what you see on TV, HD, baby, you know what I'm saying? And so, I think I would always beat myself, so I was real driven.
Yeah.
When I realized that like whether I scored 20 points or 2, I knew God loved me. You know what I mean? And so I didn't have to. It takes so much pressure off life, and then you can just flow into your gift.
Yeah.
You don't have to try so hard. You know what I mean? You don't have to lie, cheat, and steal to kind of get to the top.
Yeah.
You're good. If it's meant for you, you'll be there. It may take time, but you'll get there.
But Melvin, you come here to this country as a gift. And the reason why I'm saying this is because exactly where you're coming from, exactly your lifestyle is how many of us find life here in Belize.
Yeah.
But how do you go from and I'm just throwing this out there, a big time to eventually being able to stay humble and find yourself to be motivating people to eventually keep to that level? How do you do this?
Well, you never forget where you come from. Like I said, we grew up, some nights we didn't have anything to eat. And the big part of it is most people assume I'm gonna be 6'8" anyway. So most people look at me like, are you the janitor? So how can I think I'm more than what I am when nobody even believes? I flew in with Charles Smith. He played for the New York Knicks. And so he picked me up. He's like, hey, welcome, you're here. And he put me in, one lady put me in her purse. I was like, it was crazy.
But you were more comfortable on the plane.
I was, yeah. He was all messed up. I was chilling. Belize. But yeah, I think one of my biggest prayers was, always stay humble. Because I've seen so many, 90% of most athletes, NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, 90%, 5 years after they retire are broke, divorced, and on drugs. Because a lot of times we start believing what people say. It's easy, like when y'all leave here, everybody knows y'all, because they see you on the show, you make them open their eyes, even if they're blind. Stevie Wonder was like, I can see. And so when you're walking, oh man, you're great, and you hear that enough, you go, maybe I am. I'm pretty, and you have to always kind of go like, God can use anybody.
Yeah.
He don't use, he used you two because he trusts you. That's deep. And so I don't want to lose the trust. At the end of the day, my wife trusts me, my boys trust me. Outside the jokes, there's a lot of people look up, so I don't want to let people down. You know what I mean? And so.
Nice. So let's talk about the connections that were made here. First of all, the Belizean connection, right? So let's start with that, Kerm.
Was it the Belizean connection?
Was it a Belizean connection? Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
People want to figure out how did this happen? How do we get this guy here? And what do you hope, or where do you hope to make an impact in having him speak to people?
Well, I believe that I'm very purposeful with my life. I'm not Melvin, I'm not John, I'm not you guys. We're all wired differently.
Yep.
And so I believe that in my heart, I want to see my nation come into some greatness. We all know Belize, and we all see the struggles that we have, but I do believe that Belize is a nation that's gifted with a lot of potential, and it's not been harnessed as it should be. And so that, I believe, sparked a cry in my heart and say, Lord, hey, what you doing? You got to hook our nation up. I mean, come on. I mean, you do great things for a great nation. What about Belize? I mean, we deserve a chance too. I mean, so I think it was cries like that in my heart that kind of settled these connections here. And so, the Lord brought John in. John is a very significant guy. So 4 years ago, we sat down and had some strategy meetings. And today, we're seeing the fruitfulness of those discussions.
So, John, you reached out to Belize?
Yeah, 4 years ago, I really felt Belize on my heart. And Pastor Joel Osteen has a passion for bringing hope to the world. Melvin Adams encourages people to be everything God created them to be. And so there was just a great connection there. But we sat down after my first visit to Belize, met Kerm, met Pastor Scott, met some really significant people in Belize. And even at our first meeting, we talked about having an event like basketball that would draw a whole lot of men, young men, where we could find a way to draw people in, not just church people, but all people, and just encourage them and bring out the best in them. And we noticed and started talking about the real issues that were taking place in Belize, and heard that there was a lot of struggles of men understanding or knowing what it means to be a man. And so we wanted to come disciple and encourage and strengthen. And so we started working with Kerm around a strong men's movement and really teaching men how to be men, young men how to be men. And being a man isn't what you think it is necessarily. It's not about having a lot of girlfriends. It's not about making babies. It's not about, all those things that kind of people get in their head that this is what it means to be a man. There's, this guy's been with his wife, one wife for a really long time. We should celebrate that and get excited about that. And so we just want to teach men what it really means to be men. And so that's what we're passionate about. So we met up with Kerm, and I've been coming over the last 4 years, and we've just built to this kind of significant time of bringing Melvin in.
We keep on mentioning this word believe. And with all that's happening in the world, and I want to throw it out to Kerm. Reason being is because there are a lot of people who would be watching. There are a lot of viewers. And we need to keep on believing, especially with how things are in this country alone.
That's right.
Why do you believe?
I believe that everybody is destined with purpose. You guys have purpose to your lives, and purpose is the thing that drives us, or should be. And purpose is what brings forth significance. We were all born to make a footprint, a legacy for this nation, all of us. And I think that for a person to be fulfilled to the fullest is to discover that purpose why you were born and to live it out. Because your life is not just about you as a person, but your life is about impacting the lives of others, reaching the hopeless, reaching the broken, reaching the lost. And I'm just so grateful that, the Lord has given us these connections because, we have significant people. Melvin is a very significant guy. And there's other guys.
Don't let him cry now, right? We
He
made
loves
some
to cry.
tissue.
You get used to him. Don't worry about it. but that's the goal because, every person in life, I don't care if you're a TV star, if you're a movie star, if you're a sports star, there's those moments in life where we hit the dark stages. And it takes somebody to pull us up. And everybody needs to be pulled up at some point in their life. If we don't do that, you know what ends up happening? Greatness goes to the graveyard. And the nation loses. And that's not what the business we're in. We want to see Belize reach to its peak because we believe we're a peculiar people, right? Belize is a great nation. And so that's the whole gist of all this, is to be able to come alongside our people and say, hey, remember why you were born. There's greatness to you. And however we can come alongside and help to extract that out, that is the passion that we carry.
When you've been beat down so much in life, when you just see nothing but loss, it's hard to hear when you say believe. It's hard to believe that when you've been beat down. And I was telling the guys, my oldest son, I don't know if football is big in Belize, but I only play basketball, soccer and stuff, but football, they wear the helmet. So my oldest son, when he was 11, he said, "Dad, I want to play football."
American football.
American football, yes, ma'am. And
We do the real football here.
Yeah.
Soccer, yeah. Some kid kicked
Cultural
me in the knee.
context here. Come on.
Watch the knee, brother. Watch the knee. So 11, I put him. But I put him with 14-year-olds because if you want to be great, you want to hang. Like if you want to be married, you don't want to talk to somebody who's been divorced 3 times. Like if you want to become rich, you don't want to hang with somebody who broke. I mean, you got to hang with the best. So I put my 11-year-old with these 14-year-old kids. I mean, they was huge. They weren't on steroids, but it was fried chicken, cornbread, and Kool-Aid. And so my baby boy at the time was 8, and he's not into sports, he's into Legos. Everything is awesome. He's that brother. So he loves hanging with his brother. So I put him on special teams. Special teams is 11 guys on one side, and they kick the ball, and they just kind of kill each other. Mm-hmm. So I see my son across from him is this 6'4" kid, about 250 pounds. Like I was like, he gonna kill Silas. That's my baby. And so he takes off and he's like boom, boom, and his lips were so big it looked like 2 pancakes fighting over syrup, And he hit my son Silas, and all I heard Silas say was, "Daddy!" I can only see out of one eye. And I said, "No, but get off the field." He goes, "Daddy!" I can only see out of one eye. I said, "Calm down, square your shoulders." I got his helmet, pulled it to the front because he was looking through his ear hole the whole time. And I say that to say that even in Belize, there are many people who have dreams have been looking through the ear hole and thinking small their whole life because that's all they see. Yeah. My daddy sold watermelons. That's all I got to do. My daddy drove a bike. I can't drive a car. So we came here to bring hope. Let them know that it doesn't matter where you come from. And the younger generation, the old people, sometimes you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Mm-hmm. But if we can get the young people, change their mindset, you can change the world. And to be people, I really believe that I'm getting excited now. I'm getting pumped up. Not because I'm with Kim Kardashian and Usher. I want you to open your eyes.
No, it's Marlene and John.
Marlene
right? Love it.
And John. And so, I was telling Kerm, I keep getting his name wrong, Kerm, that I would really believe that people are going to come from New York, LA, they're going to come to Belize and say, what is it about this country? What is it about this country that the marriages, like, they're not saying I got 3 rings, engagement ring, wedding ring, and suffering. They're going, I love her. I love him. What is it about this nation, these kids are so respectful. It's something about people want to come and find out what it is, and they're gonna get to meet you. His skin is smooth. They get to meet. Her hair smells like Pantene. What? And so came here to bring joy, hope, and just change the world, man.
Yeah.
Like
as I said in the beginning of the show, I really love the energy that you're bringing. I can only imagine how even more pumped up you'll be with kids because they bring out a whole different energy.
Oh yeah.
But let me bring it back to Pastor John for a bit. Lakewood Church, I think, is very well known. People in Belize love Joel Osteen. People across the world love him for his positive message. Obviously, I think I just want to know what made this church decide that you wanted to reach out specifically in Belize? What makes you? What's the impetus behind moving into a small Central American country, and being able to bring the very same messages of hope and positivity that they watch on television?
That's a great question. Pastor Joel's very intentional, so we can't go everywhere, but we can go somewhere, and so we want to make a difference. And Belize has such a need for hope. So what a great place for us to come and just, the people are so great. We've loved everybody we come in. And one of the things I love about this guy is we're at a hotel yesterday and he walks into the restaurant and he's meeting everybody in the room and he's bringing smile to everyone's faces. And people can get beat down and discouraged, but you bring a smile to somebody's face, you start to tell them what they can do and what they can't do. And that's really the message of Pastor Joel. So we look at a nation like Belize that is 350,000. It's an area where we feel like we can make a difference and actually see a change. And I feel like even over the past 4 years, as we've come in and we've done projects, construction projects, we've done events, we've gone across the nation, met so many neat people, we're starting to see some change. We've gone into the prisons and talked to the men and encouraged them. And I feel like if we invest over a period of a decade, we've been here 4 years already.
Wow.
And I feel like we're going to see this nation change for the better. And so that's Pastor Joel's hope. That's our hope. And it's just to bring hope and encourage people, because this is a great nation. I just think every once in a while we need to be told that. We need to be encouraged and uplifted.
I love that. And I want to ask you, Melvin, just not everybody will be able to attend your event. We'll get into the details shortly.
Yeah.
So for those who are watching, you know, I think people appreciate hearing messages of hope. The challenge is when you come from a different culture or a different country, people say, yeah, you grew up poor, but you were in America. We don't have that opportunity in Belize. How do you break that particular mental barrier that people have when you're reaching out with your message of hope?
Well, a couple of things. You know, if you keep doing what you've always been doing, you keep getting what you've always been getting. And you know, I love this story. There was a true story, a 19-year-old kid from Canada who had a dream to play chess. And ESPN had put on this big competition. The winner would get a round trip around the whole world. But this 19-year-old boy began to doubt. He said, how can I beat these men that have been playing chess for 50 and 60 years? Like, they played chess with Abraham Lincoln, you know. And like you're saying, it's easy to say, you know, man, you know, the hood in America is different than the hood in Guatemala, the hood, you know, or Belize. And so this 19-year-old kid goes, and the first day he wins. The second day he wins. The third day he was the national chess champion. His first stop was London, England. He walks to the museum and he looks to the right and there was pictures of you in 3D, of John. It was amazing, right there. Looks to the left, he sees all these paintings from third world countries, but in the back was an oil painting of a chessboard. He was so excited, he had more teeth than the dentist, and he's running in the back and all you saw was his elbows and his butt. It was so exciting. And he just won a championship, and he sees this oil painting of a chessboard, but he notices to the left there's this real big muscular guy, like from the movie 300. And he's reaching over the chessboard, instilling fear into his opponent. And on the other side was a little bitty boy with a tear going down his face. And so he looks at the muscular guy, looked at the kid, but he noticed something about the game. So he immediately runs outside, he goes to a taxi, he says, take me where I can get a chessboard. He gets a chessboard, brings the chessboard back, puts the chessboard right in front of the chessboard that was on the oil painting, and he started making moves on his board according to what he saw to the chessboard on the oil painting. He looked at the muscular guy, looked at the kid. He looked at the muscular guy, looked at the kid. And then he stopped, and he looked at the kid in the picture and he said, don't quit, you got one more move. And it doesn't matter where if it's Belize, it's Chinese, Blackanese, wherever. It's the same wherever you go. There were many nights we had nothing to eat. Many nights. I didn't call John. White people, they eat all the time. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and you see drugs on one side, you see prostitution, you see divorce, you know, abuse, and you're going to school hiding with thick clothes with heat like here in Belize because you don't want people to know. We spend money we don't have to please people we don't like. And I'm going through life like, if people could see these scars, and many people in Belize, they're hiding behind scars because they've been beat down by their dad, their mom, and so they just go, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do because my mom and daddy did it, and then you see the cycle. But we came here, we're here to break the cycle and let young people know that they can dream big dreams. And just think, the world isn't Belize, it's New York, it's LA, it's Russia. You don't want to be there, but it's a whole world. And if they can get their mindset out of thinking small, you know, don't settle. Like you don't have to. You know, you don't have to marry the girl like right here. You have to marry the guy who's abusive, thugalicious. You got smooth skin, dark chocolate, caramel mocha. So open your eyes. So yeah, we just came. You know, so yeah, you know, so it just, and then you have people in your life like these guys. You know, like you have people in your life. This is a new Oreo, chocolate vanilla in the inside. Check it out, Oreo in Belize.
John, did you sign up for this post?
Incognito.
I am kind of the Oreo.
But when you have people, you know what I mean? When you have people in your life.
And that's important. It's who you surround yourself with as well, right?
If you hang with dogs, you're going to get fleas. If you play with skunks, you're going to smell like them. So you got to get around people that build you up. And if I was in Belize, Kerm, Krispy Kreme, he is the guy, and this guy's amazing. I watched how his wife looks at him. Just like, I watch his children, like they look up to him like he's LeBron James, like, you know, and so for me, I'm like, I asked him, did he get a speeding ticket? He said no. I said he should have, because fine is written all over him. Write it down, open your eyes. So, and then he's training young men, you know what I mean? Like he has a young guy, and he's trained, like, so he's here. Like we're gonna go back. He's gonna go back to to his home where they have a dog, because whites kiss their dogs in the lips, so they have a dog. And I'm gonna go back home to dark chocolate. I love you, baby. Anyway, but he's here, and here's a guy that is so passionate about his country. You know what I mean? Like, that's what drives us, to see his love. I mean, this guy is amazing. He drives over those speed bumps, then killed 4 snakes, 2 mosquitoes, and a squirrel just to get here. Like, so I'm glad to be here.
So you actually went off in terms of making sure that we've got the motivation we need to continue. But one of the things that I feel is very important, especially for this country, and you talk about thinking small. These are some of the things where this is the thing that we need to change the mindset of parents, because when you teach a child today about a cup, that child will grow up thinking about a cup. Yeah. So there are a lot of young families in Belize. Now, how do we impact these people so they could teach their child to not only think about this cup, but this piece of paper that is bigger than the cup? What do we tell these people, and how do we get these people to think and believe that it is possible?
Well, you find people that have been where they are, because people need to see, like, you can tell me, you can hear health, wealth, prosperity preachers all your life. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there going, I see where you grew up. It's easy, like you were saying about, it's easy to believe people who grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth. But when you see people that look like you, talk like you, done been where you've been, and made it out, it gives hope to say, you know what, if he did or she did it, I can do it. And so that's what we came to bring, messages of hope, but not just saying it. Like, we're on the forefront walking this out. Like, we was up till like late night driving to almost, I think we was in Guatemala because he was eating dogs. But so now we had to get up, like 5 in the morning, man. We was up before Jesus. I mean, we got up, we woke him up to come, and then I come in, man. I see Stephanie. I mean, she's just and then I saw you. I was, because I'm telling you, like, I have 2 boys, and if my sons become half of what you are, like, I'd be a proud father, man. Just watching you, man, like, this is an awesome guy, man, for real. And like, y'all just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm watching you. I'm like, as they're talking, I'm watching you. I joke a lot, but I watch, and I'm watching you, like, and I see even like your whole desire to even see your country. That's the cool thing. Like, you haven't let this get to you, and you're like, yeah, you know what I mean? We don't show, and, she's not trying to get a Clairol, but I'm watching. I'm like, I love it, man, and that's what I'm gonna be motivated anyway. But y'all really take me to another level, because I see the passion in your eyes and the love for your people.
And I love that, because I think one of the things, and you spoke about a movement for men, and especially our young boys, they're in a very critical situation. Right. And it's hard, or for some reason we choose not to recognize male mentors or successful men, or men who are getting it right in the country. It's easier for young boys to look out on what they see on television and say, yeah, I want to get the cars, and I want to get the money, and I want to get the lifestyle, rather than just looking right around our own communities to see that. Now, this is such a great opportunity for everybody to be able to access, but we have to get the details as to where it's going to be, who's invited. Tell us about this basketball extravaganza.
It's going to be in Bowman this Friday night, the Hilltop Basketball Center. I don't know. It's a Hilltop basketball court.
Okay.
And it's open for everybody to come. You guys could come. Yeah. And we got some teams that's going to be playing. We've got Sacred Heart Scorpions. We've got the Belmopan Bandits. These are known teams. I mean, these guys carry a whole lot of fans with them. Yeah. And we've got UB Jaguars. And then we've got another team that's going to be there. Short games, because of course the main event is Melvin doing his presentations.
I taught him a few tricks.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, we got some other entertainment as well. So it's going to be a very inspirational, motivational, and
So it's
entertaining night.
basketball, music, and definitely we're gonna dance as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then Melvin, what will you be doing? Dancing?
I'm doing comedy.
Singing?
I'm like the older Kevin Hart version. So if
Show
you want to
him
have
something.
we're gonna do some tricks.
Yeah.
We're gonna do
Spin
some
the ball for him
comedy.
or something.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some comedy.
Check it out.
Which one am I at? Am I?
Yeah. This is
I'm
the
with
wide
Denzel?
shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of. So yeah, this is Belize, baby, around the world, changing lives, and it's a lot of brown people. Think about it.
I'm sure you've got more than that, Melvin.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't know. I mean, I want
gotta
to mess
give him
up down.
room,
Yeah.
You guys
Don't
can
spill
move
my
on.
coffee.
Get right here.
Yeah.
I want to promise. So there you go. So right here.
Yeah.
I look right here.
This is good.
Okay. So I'm gonna do a little bounce for you right here. See, and you go around the world, and then right there. He didn't even catch it. And he black.
That was your job.
He's not really black. He grew up in a white neighborhood.
We didn't practice before.
In the suburbs.
Here you go. All right.
Oh, thank you, Denzel.
So we're looking forward to this event for tomorrow night, and then again, it's going to be in the capital city, which is of course
right.
central. So a lot of
Central.
people. Will you have buses from across the country that will be venturing?
We don't
out
have
there,
buses,
or-
but we have people that's coming. So
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you know, I think it's because it's the first time in the history of Belize we're gonna be having a Globetrotter doing his presentation.
Yeah.
So that is enough motivation by us for
Yeah.
people to find their way there, and
Yeah.
we've been getting a lot of response. So the truth is, people need to get there early because I mean, if you want to get a good seat, I think we're gonna be packed out.
Yeah.
So you want to get there early, you know.
And
If you want to carpool with somebody,
And the checkpoint.
whatever.
So let me ask you, what's your first impression of Belize?
The water is delicious.
You know what they say about our water, right?
What they
Drink
say?
it
Don't drink?
once you.
No, once you drink it, you'll have to come back.
You know, I felt like I was drinking crack.
Yeah. Well, you know where to get your fix.
I came 17 years ago. Like a lot have changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could just see, and that's a good thing. You know, a lot of things has changed.
Yeah.
Like, and so I love coming to places where I feel like I see myself. Like I was always a guy nobody wanted to give a chance. I was always overlooked. People didn't think I had much to offer, but there was greatness inside of me. With Steph Curry. So I came in like just watching the people, and I thought, wow, man, like it's changed lives. Man, come here and change lives. So I'm a vegetarian. When I came the last time, I ate a lot of y'all meat because y'all eat a lot of chicken. Like it's enough chicken to feed kids in Africa and Belize. Chicken on every spot. So, yeah, that was Stephen Curry, his third year in the league.
Okay.
So I had to kind of embarrass him a little bit. You can go on YouTube and check that out.
Do you do that these days now?
What, embarrass Stephen Curry? Well, I can't do it like I used to, but.
Well, we hope that people come out to the event. As you pointed out, it takes place on Friday. It starts at 7.
Right.
There's an exhibit game, and then there's also entertainment, and you are the headliner for the night,
Definitely.
right? And it's not just basketball tricks; it's the message that you're bringing.
Just before you guys leave, though, Melvin, one of the things that Marlene and I did this morning, there's always an eye opener, and it is to motivate people. And this is what you strike me as: there is no secret recipe for happiness and content. The individuals who move through life joyously have not necessarily been blessed with lives of abundance, love, success, and prosperity. Such people have, however, been blessed with the ability to take the circumstances they have been handed and make them into something great. What do you make of this?
I mean, I felt like I was listening to Martin Luther King when he was a baby. I mean, that was amazing. Hold on, I got to take that. Hold on. That was deep. Woo, that was deep. Hold on. Well, one of the things, John, that was deep. My son, my children will be like him. It doesn't matter where you come from, and for me, my glass is always full. Yeah. You can't steal my joy. I know there's going to be 65 checkpoints to get here. I'm not gonna let that steal my joy. I know, the coffee not gonna have sugar. But it doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is where you're going. And if you're always stuck in the past, you'll never see all the great things that God has for you in the future.
Yeah.
And so, again, we can't my brothers keep living off the same pain from their past, and it affected their generation and their legacy. I had the same past, but I found great people in my life who saw something in me that I didn't see and started speaking to me. And when you plant seeds, you go out the next day, you don't see the plant, but it's work going on at the bottom that you don't see. And you give it enough water, enough rain, like y'all been having, enough sun, because y'all got a lot of that. And then that thing grows, man. And to be able to sit back and watch, even as a father, I'm watching you and I'm going, that would be my son. I saw you when you had Pampers, when you couldn't walk, when you had that one hair and you looked like alfalfa. Your neck was drunk. And I'm watching you into a man. The tree to the leaf and from you come from, you know. And I'm watching, I'm going like, wow, like see the maturation of your growth, you know what I mean? Like she didn't always have perfect hair like that. It was, you know, you can achieve with a weave. But she let it grow and it looks amazing. It looks absolutely, in real life, I'm right here. You at home, I'm here. Friday night.
All right. Well, I think you've given enough teasers for today. There are a lot of people who want to be at this event. Melvin, John, and Kerm, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about this event, and we wish you the best of luck on Friday. All right? We got to go ahead now and take a break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about the new building that's going to be opening this Friday for Caribbean Motors. Stay tuned.